of designing this infographic. So what we want to do is, picking up where we left off, we came up with our title and some little attributes to give it some, a nice visual, an interesting visual twist. So the main thing that we want people to know is you don't have to be everywhere. Pull that down a little bit. I'm going to stretch this. I think, yeah, down the back, good. You don't have to be everywhere. So the main things to know about you don't have to be everywhere is, it was much easier when it was just Twitter and Facebook. Now there's way too many. So we have kind of 4 or 5 different points we want to look at, which is way too many. 1, 2 platforms. Being consistent. And do your strengths. So I think what might work well here is if we did like a cube. So with the brush, I want to go like that, and like that. Way too many. Focus on 1 to 2 platforms. Be consistent. Click a return so that is consistent. And play to your strengths. So these are obviously too large. So I'm going to bring them down a little bit. Good. We will align these. All right, and also I think because the text is light, I'm going to actually pull these things in, adjust the lighting of these. Now, do I want I'm actually, to make this a little different, going to pull these together. So the interesting thing with that is it actually makes them appear darker. Put an N dash in there instead of just a hyphen. Move that up, make sure this is center aligned. Yeah, we can fudge that one. Okay. Now, what we need to do, and I feel like this is really, this is kind of like the new start of the infographic. So the thing I'm hesitating with is, I wonder if this just becomes the headline. So let's get that here. Three things you should do. So I'm being a little quiet here because I'm thinking about this. It's a really long title. Because the main thing I want people to know is 3 every time social. You know, it might look good with this. We'll see. I'm not sure, but we're going to see. Then copy behind again. And what I'm doing is adding strokes. That kind of looks good. And then I'm going to bump that up a little bit. Ooh, here's an idea. Copy behind. Nah. All right. So the question is, do I make this the headline? And flip the whole order? You know what? I'll go through. I'll continue going through and I'll list out the 3 things and we'll figure that part out. And then we'll figure out if we should just reorganize the whole thing. Like, this is a nice clean title, but it's not super active. Just like, hey, here's some stuff you want to know. Whereas this is active. Go do these 3 things each time. Yeah, so that's probably what we're going to do. But for now, what we want to do is break out our 3 things. So each time you should share something. All right, we need to dial this back a little. Share something someone else posted. Great. Now's when we go to auto. Maybe these should be darker. And should this? Yeah. Copy behind, shift it down. Still don't like it. Okay, so something you should do, share something someone else has posted. Let's get that centered, and then the benefits are come on guys. playing around with one of these earlier, I know that sometimes bullets just don't work great in Illustrator. You don't have the same amount of control as you do with InDesign. It's good for you. You didn't have to make it. It's good for you. It's good for them because it amplifies them. It's good for you. You didn't have to make it, and it's good for the audience because it's relevant content. And bonus tip is let's see. Let's delete all that. Okay. Add your 2 cents. It builds trust and relationship. All right, let's get this to auto. I can pull this up. Copy, paste behind. We're going to make this. Ooh, that's good. A little sloppy like that, and you know what I'm going to do is put a stroke in there too. Okay, we're at 90, we're at 76, and 63. That goes to 70, this goes to, let's go to 50. Because this is kind of hierarchy of what we want people to know. No, I'm not going to do that because then I have to figure out what to do with these. That's good for the audience. Okay, so that is number 1. Save it. And number 2. And to make it look a little bit different, what we're going to do is flip that. Okay. Flip that. Whoops. And flip that. Okay. So next up, might be a little too long. Comment on someone else's post. Don't want to do a hyphen. Hate hyphens in headlines. There's just too much line height between those two. Between those two lines. So, fun fact that I learned years ago is that there are actually 2 different types of apostrophes. One's an apostrophe and one is for feet. So if it's 12 feet, you put the little line like that. So it's straight and angled. The angled one is used for apostrophes. In my agency life, I worked on Dunkin' Donuts for a long time, and then after that I worked for BJ's Wholesale Club. So there are apostrophes in both of them. So here's where I'm going to have to clean up my language because I am inconsistent between these two as of right now. gets you in front of their audience, helps their audience by offering additional insight. I don't think offers is going to fit here. Actually, you know what better? Ads. Right, more comments equal more reach. Helps you and helps their audience add additional insight. And then add kind, thoughtful, or empathetic comments. Great. Andy's really smart. She knows what she's talking about with this stuff. So it amplifies them, helps you because you didn't have to make it, saves time, helps their audience, is relevant content. So sharing something someone else posted doesn't help their audience, it helps your audience. And this one adds additional insight to their audience, so it helps them. More comments equal more reach. All right, save that. And wrong tool. And step 3. So the funny thing about this podcast is that the hosts cut Annie off after she told 2 of her 3 things. They went to commercial and never brought it back up. So I actually emailed Annie and asked her what to do. And so she replied to me, and now I'm looking through her notes. Create something, share something, respond to someone. So this must be create something new. Okay, to learn it, go to the next webinar. Smart. All right, create something new. So now I need to take this and figure out 3 bullets I can put with it. Let's see, so creating something new helps you because become known for something. Something new, and when you create something new, it's just helping you and your audience. So there's not really a 3rd bullet. So it helps your audience. It's not perfect. I'm going to pull that up. And actually what I did there is I used the A button to get to the direct select tool. I selected just the points below this line. And I clicked on a point and held down the shift button and pulled it up. In case you're wondering how I got that to work. Okay, so now we have all the content mostly all the content that we want for this infographic. Now the question is, do I move this down below? You know what, I'm going to save this. I'm going to save this as version 2. I'm going to pull this down here, pull everything up. Good, nothing's locked. Pull this back up. Obviously, I'm going to change. All right, new idea. Three tips for social success. It's right there. Let's look, we are in pretty good shape there. All right, but now I can pull this down. Helps when I grab all of it. And move this up. Center, center. All right, that's a pretty good sub-head. These, I don't like that one as much. Hello. Brush. Yeah, that's what we want to do. Let's mirror this right on my center line. And just to make sure, I'll double check that on center and double check that on center. Good. No, super simple. Just move these three things up. And then with this, it's a good reminder. You don't have to be everywhere. Many social networks. Be consistent, play to your strengths. All right, let's hide those guides. And let me see over here. All right, nothing's going on there. And what I'll do, I'll actually group these so I can make sure that they are properly aligned. All right, it was minor, but still good enough. Create something new. Create new content. Create something new, create and share something new. There we go. That fits. So this kind of goes back to my first job when I was a graphic designer. I worked with a great editorial team, and we would try to get the design to work, and if at some point it didn't, we'd just go to them and ask for updated copy. This does align. Okay. This looks not as tall as this, but it is, so that's okay. All right, now good reminder, you don't have to be everywhere. All right, now, footer, slide this thing up. All right, so as you'll notice, I ended up not using any of these additional colors that I found. So we will just stick with the core colors. And the name of this typeface is that. Don't know how to pronounce it, so I'm not going to try. BUE. Good. Let's see my Spotify. A social media strategy, and this was on the Clear Content podcast. So one of the things I always do with this is I have this first quotation mark hanging off the edge, so then I don't have to worry about alignment and all that. Right now, these lines I need to change to that. That looks good. Right, and then I can pull this up. And Annie Schiffman, who is the, you know what? I'm going to give Annie a 4-line title. She does a lot. So I have different folders on here. I'm sorry, not folders. Different layers on here for when somebody has multiple titles. Change that. Just select that, close that, and do that. It's good to know. It's all over the place. All right, I just want that. F3. Change to this, but then these things, lock that. These things need to have the dark fill. There we go. Okay, Schiffman is the and CEO of Stage Media. She is also Story Brand Guide. That's the good thing with this. So we can, you know what, let's just, that didn't work, but we're going to make them all this big. And that, my friend, should do it. Oh, I know what I can do. Recap.com. I can show you I'm going to find an image of Annie. That's a good one. Looks like her Twitter profile. Okay, so I'm going to copy X, select this guy's image, paste in front, slide that over. So now this is behind the mask. So I have a mask that makes it circular like that. Then I lock that layer and delete his image. And I will find the actual Clear Content Podcast imagery, episode imagery. So that is it for this infographic. I might do a few tweaks later on there, maybe put in some background texture, but for the most part, this is done. So if you have any questions, please let me know. Otherwise, have a good day. Thanks.